Metaphors in Film, The Matrix. By Danielle Sainte-Marie. Matrix, noun. Plural. Matrices. 1. Situation or surrounding substance within which something else originates, develops, or is contained. 2. The womb. 3. Anatomy, the formative cells or tissue of a fingernail, toenail, or both. The Matrix is a film that is heavy in metaphorical dialogue and symbols, and is all about finding authenticity of self and how to live from an internally realized then directed outwardly point of view. When this is done, the person who awakes within changes, and then their world changes as well. It is a perfectly good, ancient mythological hero's tale, told through the modern-day eyes of the 20th century. If you haven't yet seen The Matrix, then do yourself a favor before reading this article and go purchase it and watch it a couple of times. It is my favorite science fiction film of all time and truly, utterly brilliant in my opinion. I don't offer overviews of films in these metaphorical evaluations because without viewing the film first you are not going to know what I am writing about anyways. The color green and the computer-generated code of the Matrix program are the first things we encounter. The color green is a symbol for enlightenment and intelligence. It is the first notion, even the Warner Brothers logo is green in the opening of the film, that what you are about to see is meant to engage the mind. The code we see is indecipherable at first and this will later come to represent our lives. That is, we do not know what we are truly seeing in this world, and we do not know that what we experience is in any way real. Quantum physics shows us this, as do our own minds. Watch the film What the Bleep Do We Know? Have you ever thought you saw something only to find out that what was actually there was not what you had seen at all? This happens in a physical sense to us and in a spiritual, emotional, psychological sense too. This code of numbers and symbols on the screen are what we, metaphorically as humans, are experiencing all the time, but we interpret them in our own way. One person may see a black wall and another may see it as dark brown. Who is right? Later on in the film, Cypher says as he looks at the code, "I don't even see the code anymore, all I see is redhead, blonde, brunette." We filter the world uniquely. If you weren't already paranoid with an Orwellian sense that Big Brother is listening to you, then the opening scene of the code eventually generating into a phone number and the voice of Trinity, off-screen, saying, "I think someone's listening," might just push you into paranoid city, population you. The number is then rerouted to some unseen authority somewhere and we immediately sense danger. I think of our own lives, and how the internet is such a brilliant way for any government to keep tabs on its citizens, but, I digress, or do I? The next scene is a flashlight shining in you, the viewer's face. This is a metaphor that asks, are you awake? It is letting you know this film is about enlightenment, as the light is usually a symbol in mythology for the dawning of higher consciousness. Now we move down a hall with authorities, police officers, as they come to a door and momentarily pause. This is the door to enlightenment and we know that behind it will lay the wisdom they seek, but, will they be able to interpret it correctly, and prosper from it? Or will they try to snuff it out? This is the challenge to all of us, and these authorities' behavior lets us know just from the way they enter the room how they will proceed. They kick in the door, instead of respecting it and gently entering. Behind the door is Trinity, the wise one, and of course the authorities try and arrest her, and then end up trying to kill her. It is interesting to note that she has her back to the authorities as they enter, which is a metaphor for the rebel who has turned her back to conventionality. As they try to dominate her and make her submit, she rises in the air above them, arms outstretched, indicating balance and being in oneness with nature, by resembling a bird in mid-flight, and she looks down at the authorities. This is a metaphor that further lets us know she is wiser than any of these men. She wears the leather clothes of a rebel. In the 20th century, leather came to be synonymous with rebellion, such as was evoked by the characters of James Dean, Arthur Fonzarelli, rock and roll musicians, prostitutes and/or more. She steals away from the authorities and is pursued mightily by an agent, who is quicker than the other officers and whom seems to frighten Trinity, setting up the film's idea, just by her actions that this agent is very bad news. If Trinity can fight off all the other officers, we wonder, then what is it about this agent that scares her so badly? She runs towards a phone but halts as she sees a menacing truck stop across the street, its front grille pointed directly at the phone booth. This is the duel, which has been represented in countless westerns and fables throughout history. The one who is on the side of right usually wins the classic duel standoff. She runs towards the phone and the truck accelerates towards the booth as well. This is a sign of Trinity's belief in herself, and also, without having to ever say a word, the writers of The Matrix let us know that whatever it is she is fighting about, that it is something she is willing to die for. She makes it to the phone just in the nick of time, and then disappears from sight as the truck barrels through the booth. She is gone, having somehow vanished to safety after picking up the receiver. We are next introduced to the main character, Thomas Anderson, who goes by the computer hacker name of Neo. Now, Thomas in the Bible is the one who doubted the rising of the Christ, and the name Anderson means, Son of Man. He is a doubting Thomas, the one who doesn't understand what his true, hero's nature is. When we first see Neo, he is asleep. This is a metaphor that lets us know right away that he is not psychologically and spiritually awake. He is dead to his own potential, and he is dead to himself, and his name further shines this light on the matter. He opens his eyes and the first words he sees are these, displayed on his computer screen: "Wake up, Neo. The Matrix has you." This is a motivation for us as viewers to wonder what it is that has us, and whether or not we are awake to our higher nature. To the keyboard he moves his hands, and he hits the Control, then the X button. This is, in computer speak, known as the cancel button. It is simply a metaphor that reveals he wishes to exit out of the screen, which means he wants to put away the thought-provoking nature of the question and not deal with having to wake up. But, further letters appear and form the next sentence: "Follow the White Rabbit." This is an allusion to Lewis Carroll's Alice in Wonderland. The White Rabbit appears at the beginning of that book as he does in the beginning of this film, and both are leaders to Wonderland, where the real or known world melts away. In the book, his character is always saying, "Oh dear. Oh dear. I shall be too late." This is also a reference to Neo's character, that is, that he must awake or he too will be late for something, an adventure, no doubt. Then the screen says, "Knock, knock, Neo," and right on cue, someone named Choi is knocking at his door.